Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our second set of the night. It's going to be Lunatic Esports versus Executive Order. The first two gods banned away have been Alkwang and Terra.
Yeah, not a real surprise. Those two have kind of, regardless of the match, for the first time around for these teams, they almost always ban these two gods, it seems. Alkwang and Terra seldom have been making it through. Terra's actually made it through less since her nerf than she did originally in our grand scheme of everything.
Terra, why do mortals hate us?
'Cause we OP.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But now Lunatic, they're going to look to ban away something else. They could ban away the Fafnir, or they could try and get it for themselves here, or maybe even looking to take away a character like Ratatasker.
Yeah, I think that they're going to try and keep Fafnir online if possible. Instead, they elect for a pass ban. So I guess either they just couldn't decide who they wanted to get rid of, or they just wanted to see what they would ban.
And on her, going to solidify the final pick here. Not necessarily
Fabulous choice.
CC god, but does have a good amount of CC for himself. Knockups, situational pins, knockbacks, and slows. On her gets locked in for the final pick here. That's going to be the character matching up with Jingwei in this dual lane now. Who are you going to give this game to?
I'm going to give the early game of this over to Executive, but I think when it comes into the late game, Jingwei, Hoonbots, Scylla, this is definitely going to get the way of Lunatic, especially if they can keep the sustain up for the Sylvanas.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you here. I do think that towards the later stages of the game, Lunatic is going to really have the advantage, but I think Executive Order could find themselves a nice lead and try and snowball this one. However, speculation is great and all, but it's really only going to come down to gameplay, so we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break and be right back in it with the game for you guys.
All right, everybody, and welcome back from the break. We're going into Game 1. It's Lunatic Esports versus Executive Order. Lunatic Esports on the Order side, the bottom of the mini-map, the left side of the Spectre UI. It's going to be Brayne playing Erlong Shen in the solo lane. Silent Shadows is the jungle Hoonbots. Kraken is going to be taking Scylla into the mid lane, and Ragzeus and Luna are going into the dual lane as Sylvanas Jingwei.
And on the top side of the minimap, right-hand side of the Spectre UI, fighting out of the Chaos side will be Executive Order. It will be Road Dunks in the solo lane as Robin. Fuki Buki in the jungle as Ratatasker. Mike Fireball going to be in the mid lane as Giannis. And Snane99 and Urge Jason will be combining for your support Athena and ADC on her.
So it looks like Lunatic has already kind of gotten the early advantage when it comes to clearing out those camps, but to be noted, they actually only did the red buff as opposed to doing the triple camp start. So they're going to get to lane a little bit earlier, but they're going to be suffering a little bit of experience.
However, McFireball taking a very large chunk of his health there from that Scylla crush, getting hit by that along with the creep wave being hit by it as well, and he just took a lot of damage there. And the choice not to do back harpies, I don't personally enjoy it as a mid laner just because it puts me behind experience-wise, and I don't like that. But the choice not to do the back harpies does mean you get to lane a little bit faster, and it's going to be all about how Executive Order decides to utilize this. And with the Scylla hitting the root and hitting the crush
oh my god,
on the shots, it's really going to be good for her to kind of get that early lane pressure that naturally she would never have.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Scylla, not known to really be the early game god, as we can see. Right-hand camps are going to be going the way of Lunatic Esports here, as I believe they also got the Fire Elementals there. Left side's going to be going over to the way of Executive Order, and with that Sikkim Crush that came out, that forced out the potion from McFireball on Giannis. He no longer has a potion to try and sustain this lane. If he gets hit by really anything more at this point, he's going to have to go back to base.
Yeah, it is. He just has to be careful. He has to be a little bit more careful, but now that the junglers are here, he's going to get that, I don't want to call it babying, but he's going to get that assistant, and now Silent Shadow wants to take this advantage and push it into the jungle. They're going to look for the engage here, and Fuki Buki gets rooted out. Taking the teleport will be Silent Shadow, stunned out and hit with the Unstable Vortex, but jumping away now will be Shadows, and a jungle invade goes well for them as they will secure the back harpies and Silent Shadows now, trying to maybe make something happen to mid lane. Fuki Buki has to be careful here, because if Kraken lands a root, then that is death for him.
Oh, for sure. Looking over at the dual lane, it is going into the advantage of Lunatic here. Oh, that pull! I don't even. Well, that pull wasn't seen. I don't think we actually got to see that pull. So that didn't ever happen. That camp's being taken.
It's just uncool.
back in.
No reason.
Nah, that pull doesn't even exist yet. That's not in the game.
Ratatoskler's ult might not even be leveled, honestly. It's not that huge of a damage spike, and he might just instead elect to level up the stun and the...
Oh, Silent Shadow's a dangerous spot there. We're going to be forced to purify from the taunt. Otherwise, he was dead there.
Yeah, he's going to hold on to his life, but not his beads, which should open up an opportunity here for Executive Order to play a little bit more aggressively. They have all of their relics online. Teleport doesn't even matter. But they have all of their relics online. And in the meantime, Beads and Sprint, though will be coming up shortly, are down for Lunatic. For their jungler.
You say teleport's not that important. I think it's actually a lot more important than we might think, just because early Gold Fury aggression, I mean, neither of these teams are super heavy with going against the Gold Fury this early on, but with teleport being open for Robin as opposed to Erlong, it could mean that a rotation into a late team fight could spell the death of Brayne here, as Athena has ulted in, but is extremely low in mana. The taunt from Erlong Shin is going to go to the 2-man. I'm a monster. Brayne going to get her for both of those kills, and that's going to be a free speed buff going away as Ratatoskler is forced to ult out of there.
That was taunt into the Fear No Evil, into the Scylla ultimate, into the double kill for Brayne there. A very nice invade with excellent coordination and just a raw numbers advantage really coming out for the side of Lunatic. They used their ult sooner, and that ended up winning them the fight there. Fuki even burning his ult, as well as McFireball. And Snane as well. 3 ults down on one side, 3 ults down on the other, but more was gotten out of it. And speaking of early Gold Furies, it's being started up right now. Silent Shadow's having to jump away, but they just quite simply put, do not have the damage right now to get it. And Snane looking for this fight, and I really do think Executive Order should at least try and take this.
Yeah, this is a great chance for them to do it. They don't have a meditation or anything like that on the side of Lunatic Esports to get that healing back up. Well, Snane has taunted Ragzeus into the preemptive strike, but the 2-man Wrath of Terra might keep him alive just for a little bit. The healing from the Wisp is coming out. It's actually saving his life. Snane gets rooted because of the passive. Luna is going to get the credit for the kill on this. On the Buki, Snane is going to fall as well for being a little too over-aggressive. Sylvanas is praying to RNGesus.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and a 2-man taunt certainly is good, but a 4-man taunt!
5-man taunt is even better!
Wow, that just, everybody's down. Scylla hit everybody with that ultimate. Executive Order get wiped off the map. 5 men fall. 5 men got taunted. 5 men got ulted by Scylla. 5 men got ulted by Hunbas. And now the Gold Fury will be the 6th to fall to the might of Executive Order. Or might of Lunatic Esports.
Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen a more perfect execution of AoE Ultimate. The 5-man taunt, the 5-man return taunt from Brayne into the 5-man Fear No Evil 5-man I'm a Monster. I'm speechless.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
Anything you can do, I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Snane taunts goes up and gets off a pretty nice 2-man taunt. Then Brayne goes up and just taunts 5. And the 5-man Scylla ultimate. At this stage of the game, despite the Doom Orb, Scylla ult does not do nearly as much damage as it will in the later stages of the game. That being said, she is still a mage. She is still a character who can put out a ton of damage. And then the 5-man Hunbats ultimate. Lunatic, their chain CC this game and their ability to hit a lot of people with a lot of abilities has been unmatched.
There's a very small window to pull off all 3 of those abilities as perfectly as they did. At this level, now, I'm assuming it was at level 2 at that point for Brayne, as he is level 13 right now. His taunt at this point is only 0.9 seconds. From the 5-man taunt, they have 0.9 seconds to launch off the Hunbats Fear No Evil, which at this time is 1.25 seconds if he had it ranked up to level 2 at that point. And then the I'm a Monster. They had 2 seconds, which seems like a long time, but when it's this fast-paced, you don't even realize how fast that goes. They had basically 2 seconds to land off that perfect execution of abilities there to get a 5-man wipe. Snane's in a bit of a pickle here as Sikkim is going to go onto the crush, but he's going to be able to dash out of that one.
Luna gonna just knock him up there a little bit, just kind of for the fun of everything.
Okay. On the Fukibuki in a bit of a pickle there, he's going to have to use the purification. Now, for some reason, I like saying in a bit of a pickle. I'm going to try and stop using that overused expression at this
Pickles
point.
are good.
Pickles
really
are
good.
delicious. There is a gas station near my work, and whenever I have to go and buy gas, which is like twice a week sometimes, I go in there and I buy a drink and a pickle as well, and I talk to Mike. Mike's awesome. But ignoring Mike here, Ragzeus chasing down Mick Fireball is going to root him under the tier 2 tower. Going to use those whips, try to get a little bit of healing off for his team.
Yeah, right now Ragzeus on this Sylvanas is going to be a siege machine kind of going into the late game, but Fukibuki finds himself in a little bit of trouble. Up into the air he goes. As well will be safe. Ragzeus, however, still trying to fight this out on the backside. Very, very low. Coming down on top is going to be Fukibuki doing a lot of damage, but a nice Hoonboss ultimate to peel for his support. Ragzeus still living. Fukibuki not quite so fortunate. Rodunk's now fighting out in the front line for his team, but Brayne, almost at full health, will not be afraid of anything, as Urge Jason will be making the rotation in the mid lane. Knocked up by Luna will be Rodunk's, and now everybody's grouping up in the mid lane.
Oh, Mick Fireball, lucky he didn't get hit by that Sycamore. That could have spelled death for him. A great pin. Hoonbots is going to throw out the Sacred Monkey, but is not going to be able to bounce to the right target near the end of there. And instead, Urga Jason going to be the one to fall as a 3-man taunt. Really leads to just about no damage there. Really, no magic power on the side of Athena. Only 20 from those Traveler Shoes. That Preemptive Strike's not going to be dealing a ton of damage, especially only being level 8. It's not maxed out yet. Tier 1 tower going to fall. Another great pin by Brayne is going to keep Rodunk. Oh, hold up. Ragzeus, calm down.
Yeah, Ragzeus has been really shredding his stuff now recently with pulls. Sylvanas pull is such a momentum-based ability sometimes. You hit one, and then you hit them all. You miss one, and then you gotta wait until you hit one again, and then you're gonna start hitting all of them again. And Ragzeus really, really showcasing how good Sylvanas pull can be as this pick material. I said Sylvanas pull can end team fights. It can make a team fight not a team fight. It can just make it into a pick. Everybody's grouping up, everybody's posturing. All of a sudden, you're in the middle of the enemy team, and you're dead. That is just a reality of Sylvanas pull right now, and that is what has been happening to players. And unfortunately, Urge Jason, one of the ones who felt that wrath inside of that last team fight.
He felt the pull, not the wrath. That's the ultimate.
I knew you were going to.
And that's also a
I said
relic
it.
too. That's also a relic too, which nobody has wrath in this game. That's one thing that we didn't mention. Wrath has not been picked up by any of these players. We've been seeing that very frequently amongst these teams, but neither of these ones electing to go into it. Instead, like go into more safe relics as they should.
So far, Executive Order hasn't been able to find a kill, and a couple of really unfortunate early game circumstances have just put them at this impressive deficit. As Fukibuki trying to get out, but on the backside of Silent Shadows, it's kind of skulking around. Gonna hit on her with the teleport there, but not actually jumping to the monkey, as now Silent Shadows getting brought down.
Here's another chain CC.
Downfall Snane in that fight. Fukibuki running away, but the monkey bounce gonna secure his kill, and cracking KO.
You want this kill?
Oh yes, please.
Okay.
Monster. Psych! Monster. Oh, he's actually gonna get pulled away from that one. Rodung just barely alive from that one, but Silent Shadows is gonna finish him off using a very nice display of auto attacks and abilities into that one. Lunatic Esports on a tear right now, 15-0. Not even 17 minutes into this game, the tier 2 tower has fallen in the duo lane, and they're setting their eyes to the Gold Fury yet again.
The Gold Fury, nobody's there to contest it. Mike Fireball burned his ultimate already. So this Gold Fury is going to go down completely for free. And that last team fight got split up, which is the worst possible thing that could happen if you're rooting for Executive Order right now, because split up team fights when you're at a deficit are really, really bad, because that means that you're not fighting, a 5v5 where you might have a chance to use all your abilities on one person and get that kill. You're fighting a 3v3 and a 2v2 where down with abilities, you're just not going to get anything out of it. And Fukibuki continuously falling and actually saying, no, we're done with this one. Executive Order going to throw in the towel and surrender this game on.
Will Lunatic Esports be able to defeat Executive Order in the second game? Or will they have to Git Gud? Stay tuned for part 2.